Hello?
Oh, hello.
Are we here? Are we on
I can
the
see
internet?
the stream.
We're actually relatively on time.
Yeah, almost great. You got Spotify playing?
I sure do. It's literally the end of the song.
Okay, I'll give it a second.
Curse these low volume intro and outro songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is also not a good example. I can't hear anything from Spotify.
Let's. Nope. There we go. Something with some more volume.
Okay, yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
Yeah, we've established that you can. It does actually exist. It can be heard.
Hello.
Okay, let me close. Who has
Hello.
arrived?
Thank you for the follow.
Ooh, hello.
We're about to do
Greetings.
some arts.
What is happening? Saying that, I don't know what category of thing I'm gonna do even.
So you were very excited for today.
I was very excited for Outstream, and I don't know why. I think I just got in my head that I was very excited about it. You know, good.
It's important to have things to look forward to.
Yeah, but I did not have a plan to go with that. See, if I write, I don't need to do warm-up because I've been writing all day. And that is skewing my opinion slightly.
Meanwhile, I should probably crack on with warm-up.
You should do warm-up. I say I don't know what I'm doing. I'm opening something with intent, so I clearly have some agenda. To sit more naturally. Not used to there not being a light source from here. If anything, I might turn that on just so I have light coming from this direction.
Do the old DS calibration.
God, what a throwback. Oh.
And the fact that everybody knows what I mean by that.
I can hear it in my head.
Go tap the four corners.
Yep.
It's a good way to get yourself used to a tablet. Tap the four corners and go through the middle and stuff. DS calibration.
Means the go-to when you're playing even slightly badly. Is it calibrated right?
Do I need to recalibrate this?
Or if you're hanging out with a bunch of your friends and you're all playing Animal Crossing, a good way to fuck with them while they go to the bathroom. They recalibrate it and press random places. On that laptop is me, Lulu, Iphignia, Lulu, and Roman.
Nice.
And it's just like, aw. It's a picture where they're both going like that, and Iphignia's like knelt down with the crystal tower behind her. Good picture.
It is a good picture.
It's a good picture. Has wholesome family photo vibes.
Hello. Hey Naren, how you doing?
Oh, Naren. Mentioned Roman and here he is. He materializes.
Speak his name, he doth appear.
Yep.
Oof, yeah.
Oh, sleepy Naren.
Yeah, I remember you saying yesterday that you had a rough day ahead
Oh,
of you.
yeah. I've been mostly wide awake all day, but now I'm like, oh, I'm tired. It's like, no, you just started doing things.
Happens to me quite a lot, especially like when I'm doing warm up of like, oh, I'm starting to be sleepy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, if I push through warm up and start getting onto actual art, brain will re-engage itself.
It's true.
Sometimes I'm just permanently tired.
Occasionally. Do I make things? I think I'm gonna make D&D stuff.
Fair enough.
I keep being like, I want to write, but then if I actually think about writing, I'm like, I know what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna sit here and disassociate the screen. I can feel it in myself that that's the energy I've got going.
Right.
You know?
I have D&D
I
stuff
may
that
as well.
I need to do for Friday, which I have been picking off.
I have been blessed with more time, more time I require.
That's fair. Can't imagine why.
Don't know why I would possibly need that.
I feel like we need to hold off talking about that until... We should hold off talking about that topic until the crowd is here, because they'll want to listen in.
It's true.
Gotta wait for the regulars to turn up before we can begin our usual broadcasting schedule.
Oh god, I've got to open Photoshop.
I need to find/make a map. Obviously that's very important. If I cannot find it, I will have to make it, which will take longer. I am hoping I can find it.
I have sources if you need them.
Yeah. It's a map of a specific place, because as you recall, I'm writing a pre-written. But it does not exist in the pre-written Roll20, which is already just like, oh, if they didn't include one, does that mean there isn't one? So that's always worrying. I've already read up on like lore of said location. So I've got some like key bits already sort of lodged in my memory, but I'll probably go through it again and actually bullet point a few key things. So I have this pattern now when it comes to like big locations. Is the thing that I like to do is to have the map up, put numbers on key locations, and then let the players pick 3 or 4 numbers.
Yeah. And
just be like, where do you want to explore? And sometimes I'll be like, oh, this building has a red roof when all of the other ones have blue roofs, so let's go see what this is. And that can lead to fun things.
Yeah.
I find it enjoyable, and my players say they like it, because it's obviously player driven.
Yeah, 100%. I be right back 1 second, someone's knocking at my door.
Rat tap tapping upon thy chamber door.
Bad timing.
Quoth the raven nevermore. Let's see if we can get these circles done, get my wrist warmed up. circle's done. Good.
Turn.
Fair return.
Yeah. It's fine. Brother now has long hair, so occasionally he's like, "Can I have a hairband, please?" Please.
That's brilliant.
Ah, you have come to me. You have come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
All of my hairbands have like vanished into the ether. I don't know what's happened.
So
to
have
them.
mine. This, hang on. Oh.
I could have sworn I used to have 2 on my desk, and both of them have now vanished.
You might recognise this part.
Of course I did. Hey.
This used to be full, but now it is not. All it has is this guy. Which, if you put your ponytail through it, looks like you got a little crown.
That's cute.
Yeah. Grip. Little grip. Tis cute. It's also very uncomfortable.
Oh, right. Part 2 of warm-up is warm-up lines.
Oh, right, I've got to find... Oh, right, yeah, of course. How foolish of me. Right, I was like, I wonder where these notes are. Oh, right, they're on top of the thing. I wonder why that could have been.
Not yet, we can't... we must refrain.
I'm holding off.
Because if we start talking about it before they turn up, we'll get told off.
We're in trouble. What should I listen to? Now's the time for this, right? Last night wasn't, but this is the time now.
Well, last night was fishing vibes.
Yeah, that was a Fignius playlist. It was time for chill.
As you no doubt imagined from me posting in the chat, but I did log on to Final Fantasy today, and I was like, I could do some more story. And then when I saw on Twitter the announcement that the MGP event was ending, I was like, to the Golden Saucer!
Never mind. I'm only 20 or something K out from 300, so I was like, that's fine, I can leave that. I can live though, with having to grind to maybe 20k.
Yeah, that's
That's fine.
peanuts.
It's doable.
Yeah, it's when you start to get into the hundreds that it's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
take forever. But like the two like uber expensive things that caught my eye, I have obtained. Like,
Yeah, I just wanted wings and the regalia, and that's what I've got. Do not regret the amount of time it took me to get those wings. I fucking love them. Even if they're a fashion accessory and a pain in the ass to use, I love them.
Hey, it's better than spending real money. Oops.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Wait, did I do this already? Oh, I might have made a in case of emergency one.
Fair enough.
I did. Good.
Nice.
Keep
So I bought the 2 things that caught my eye. The third thing that I may potentially consider getting is the Emperor's New Shield on the off chance that I level Paladin, but I have
Pally?
I have no thing is that I have no plans to Pally, whereas things like Warrior and Gunbreaker, I was like, I probably will do them at some point, but Pally I have no plan to do.
Yeah, I think I have more of an inkling. I think if I had to not level a tank, it would probably be Warrior. Yeah. That's like the tank I'm least interested in. Hey, Das.
Ah, there he is.
Here comes the boy.
So yeah, but even then, even when it's full price, like I think it's one of the items that's reduced. It's 70k at the moment for the event, but when it's full price, it's 100. But even then, I'm like, I've been left with about
professional Choco racer.
Yeah, I've been left with 50k after all the stuff I've bought, and I know that from doing the weekly challenge log, even without the buff, you could easily make that.
It's a lot, yeah.
If you just do all of the challenge log stuff every week, you can get it.
Everyone's sleepy today.
Yeah.
Everyone's worn themselves out.
So yeah, so I logged on and hastily have done a bunch of the challenge log stuff. I have not done the Chocobo race ones because they are the ones that take the longest and are least reliable.
Get that triple triad money.
Yeah, I've done the triple triad ones.
Yeah, because I saw you came second, right?
Yeah, there happened to be a tournament, and I was like, sure, I'll kill two birds with one stone.
The top of the top 3 races in a triple triad open drop great cards.
Yeah, I got Hraesvalga, which is a card that I used in the tournament.
I think it's gold kit for both bronze and for 3rd and 2nd, and then platinum for 1.
No,
which
I
I've
think
only...
I think I got a platinum one as I think I got.
Well, then it might be platinum for the top ones then.
But there's achievements for coming first as well, which also give cards.
Yes, I have. Oh, that might be what I'm thinking of because I have won a triple triad open one time.
Nice.
One time.
So I immediately put Hraesvalga in my deck.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think what card I got. I think that was also one that I'd either used in that open or I had my ass kicked by. I was like, I have you now.
Yeah. I mean, I think I probably would have lost the last... I won the first 2, lost the last one. I probably would have lost anyway, but my loss wasn't helped by the fact that when I started, my colour had been changed from blue to red.
Up.
Yeah, I'd been blue for the first 2, and in the last one I was red, so at the start I got my colours mixed up, and I, like, made really bad plays, and afterwards I was like, shit.
I have done that so many times. I can't even begin to tell you.
It's like, yeah, it's irritating that they change your colour.
It is, yeah. You want me to spell it, not the way it's spelled.
I'm still pretty pleased with 2nd place, considering I learned to play like 2
weeks
ago.
Triple Triad's so easy to pick up,
yeah,
but it's so much fun.
It is.
There is like a lot of strategy when you get into it, if you want to. You can still be like pretty fucking good triple triad player and never think. What is this?
Plus, doing the challenge log stuff was actually really easy because it was things like, you know, win X amount of games and do battles in the battle hall. And when I went into the battle hall, I was just an NPC there. Well, there's several NPCs there, but one of them I went up to and I was like, "Oh, you just have basic rules and."
Oh yeah. The battle hall, yeah.
I was like, "Oh, one of these NPCs is just basic open," and I fought them and I was like, "Okay, this person was really easy to beat. I'm gonna just spam them 10 times."
Damn it, yeah. But oh wait, did you win a battle hall tournament or did you win an open?
No, it was an open tournament, but I went to the battle hall afterwards.
Cool. I was gonna say, very different levels of prestige.
Nah, it was an open tournament. After I did the tournament, I then went to the battle hall to just grind out the challenge log. But yeah, I still haven't got it. I've raced 6 Chocobo races, and I've won like 1.
Still need to, can you Choco?
Do some breeding. I think my bird is at 29 at the moment, so about a quarter left until I can breed her again.
Yeah. Oh, you ever looking for D&D maps and you find a D&D map you needed like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts. In case for whatever reason I find a way to need it again. Wacom installation. That is a whole thing.
It sure is. Requires resetting.
Number of maps that I'm just able to find that are basically what I need. Sick. It's the wrong keyboard. I was like, I'm control clicking this. Why isn't it doing it? Wrong keyboard.
The main thing that I need to prepare for my session is I do have an encounter that I would like to happen. An encounter is definitely the correct word because I don't think it would necessarily be combat. It is literally you're going to encounter someone based off what they did in their last session.
Very nice. I like the sound of that.
Well, basically, when you know, someone tries to mug you, fails, and then you turn it back on them, and then the guy raises his hands and is like, "Please don't kill me. I'm literally just doing this for pence for people I work for." And they're like, "Well, give them a letter. We want to speak to your manager." I'm like, "Okay, okay, I can do
If
this.
you insist.
If you insist." That is probably the shittiest way that I could have summarized it, but it is not far from the truth.
Describe your last D&D session as shittily as possible.
It is time for warm-up Pokemon.
Is this the week?
Let's spin the wheel. Random Pokemon generator. What do we get? Press the button. A Vivillon. The butterfly.
Butterfly.
Those are some complex wing patterns, but that's fine because they come in different varieties. So let's pick a non-complex one.
I found a new map source.
Time to head to Bulbapedia and look at the 5 billion patterns that Vivillon has.
Holy shit. And, oh my god, that's the square size on this map? Holy fuck.
Love big maps.
Wah! Is say this is the description. This is big old. This is like someone who has a mapped Patreon, posts a certain number of them for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the grid size on this. I was like, holy fuck! This is the description. The astral plane, beyond space and time, the gaps between nothingness opens into a vastness, and there in that infinity lies the graveyard of the gods. Turned to ice and rock after millennia of sleep within the empty astral wastes, the broken astral gods float in their slumber, careening into one another, crumbling into space dust. This is an end of campaign map.
That is metal as fuck.
This is a giant map. Like, I don't know how to convey how many squares this is. It's immense. It is a bunch of body parts and most of the corpse of like immense godly entities. Like, holy fuck.
So, Tunarath. Yes, that's the one. I had to Google it. Tunarath is what that is likely a reference to.
This fucker's got some good maps. Hell yeah. It's that time again when you find a new map source. You're like, time for me to scour these and save like 80 of them. Just in case.
Yes, that's Tunarath. Tunarath is the gift city. I should have specified, or however you pronounce it. Tunarath is said gift city.
It's definitely not that, but I will link it just so you guys can see it. But gore warning.
I'd like to see it because this map sounds dope as well.
It sure fucking does. How do I?
I just read what Dust said. Shitty session description: when meeting a devil and death incarnate is not the worst thing to happen in the session.
That sure was.
Oh boy.
There's a note, because I'm linking this in chat. If I use maps from this person, don't at me.
We're all DMs here. We're not gonna at each other for things that are cool. Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah. Look at the grid size on it.
Oh wow, yeah, that is a grid. Jesus, that is a 20-foot finger. Yep. That's pretty
Difference
sick.
blue when you upload this stream later. and the chat is not there, can you just like write on the stream the name of this person, the CZE Peku, and then just circle it, and then erase it, just so people know you're watching VODs.
What I'll do is
There's
I'll,
no chat.
let me post the map so people can see what we're talking about, and then I'll put the name on as well.
Have a Patreon. All of their maps are very fucking good.
This is the map that we are talking about, and right here in the corner is their name.
Yeah. Different level. My first tangent of the stream.
There's variants of this map.
Sure is, bud. Cannot let this be the entire stream.
Sorry, but these are so cool.
Very good. This is the first map I've seen that's like that big by design.
More big maps! Normalize big maps!
Aarakocra agenda. I'm listening to it. I haven't listened to Talos Playlist in a hot minute.
You should, it's got a new addition to it.
No, I've heard that. I've heard that in isolation. I've listened to a lot of these in isolation because I've either seen people listening to it and just like hopped in for a song or two, or you've linked me them directly. I haven't like listened to the whole thing, you know? I've also just seen what your description for this playlist is.
You've only just seen that? Yeah, I wrote
listened to it on my phone.
I wrote that in a while ago.
I'm trying to let you guys have playlist autonomy. If I'm listening to your playlist, you should know that you're really in trouble.
We had this discussion yesterday. Logging on to Spotify and seeing that Des was listening to Delmara's playlist just got me like, sir? Can I help you?
This when Das listens to Mara's playlist, even though that doesn't mean anything. Das, I do listen to your playlists. Oh, this song. This song hits me right in the feels. For the reasons you might think.
That's the good serotonin of when the DM's listening to your playlist and getting reactions like this.
There's plenty of songs in here that do that for like Tala related emo reasons. This is Warriors by Imagine Dragons. This hits me in the nostalgia feels.
True, yeah. There's nostalgia with that one. for the same reasons.
Don't worry, there are plenty of songs in here that cause me pain. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I know. I put them there.
Oh, I know.
I put them there.
I did that intentionally. I'm for sure using some of these. Holy shit. Mind. Save that shit.
Vivillon has very unique eyes for a Pokemon.
True. This is just soft sad boy featuring Unbending Steel. Oh, not wrong. Civil War got us. Correct. Fuck off with some of these. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
No, please carry on. It's giving me the happy chemicals.
No, sorry, I'm still looking at maps.
Okay. Still, continue.
But still, continue. Imagination than me, holy shit. I'm so fucking boring compared to these people.
Not a message.
That's the thing.
Not a message from me.
You know, I was watching that Brennan Making Sounds compilation before the stream started.
Yes.
I cannot believe it did not include the fact that Brennan Lee Mulligan can make the, like, ringing noise, like connecting to caller noise, perfectly.
What?
Like, uncannily.
How are you making that sound with your mouth?
How dare you use it to make me sad? The scenes that makes me the most sad, and it also happens to contain scarily accurate FaceTime noises.
Huh. I knew Vivillon was a complex design because of all the wing patterns it has, but even Vivillon's body is surprisingly detailed for a Pokemon. Considering that a lot of modern Pokemon go for the a lot of modern Pokemon go for simplicity because of how the franchise has evolved to, you know, have a cartoon and TCG and things. Having Pokemon that can be drawn quickly is advantageous.
Yeah. Isn't Vivillon black and white?
No, it's X and Y.
So sure, I was correct. The bloop noise. Yes, message me. Aaron, is that real? Don't fuck with me on this, is that real?
Nani?
I will say nothing until Naren confirms or denies. To my knowledge, yes. Naren has sent me a screenshot of a Dark Knight Ura.
Uh-huh.
I recognize the armor. It's Dark Knight armor. Apparently an Endwalker races with tails. For the tails. I'm looking at it.
It literally cut off when you said what it was.
It's apparently in Endwalker, Dark Knight gear is gonna have armor with tails, like tail armor.
Oh.
I'm looking at a screenshot of an Ura in Dark Knight gear with an armored tail, and I'm losing it.
I would like to see it.
And send it to Blue.
As the other person in the
Out of context, it's okay.
as the other person in the guild who has a tail, I would like to see it. I know it's a different race, but it could in theory apply to Mikote too.
I don't know how they would do that, but that'd be very funny. Somehow Ura armored tail is very normal, but Mikote armored tail is hilarious to me.
Yeah, because they've done it with ears, as I said, certain helmets.
You got the ear shame
Yeah,
now.
certain helmets have little ear hoods, I suppose, like little ear socks for the ears.
Yep.
Some helmets have holes. Some helmets have added on things like the Dragoon armor. Like I commented, I was like, when I saw Estinian's armor in comparison to Exa in the same cinematic, I was like, Exa's armor has got 2 additional plates on the helmet, and then afterwards I was like, they're for the ears.
For ears. Do Yara have tails? We've established this before.
No.
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 But I'm pretty sure that, unfortunately, you do not have a tail, and also Viera cannot wear a helmet. Will have neither armored tail nor armored ears.
They do, however, have bigger feet, I believe.
Sad face.
It's one of those things that you probably wouldn't notice if you looked at a Vera, but if you put a Vera next to another race, you would notice that they have slightly bigger feet. I think.
Oh, feet. They got thumpers.
I think, yeah. They're like longer. I know it's possible for a game to implement things like that, namely because Guild Wars 2 do it with Char.
Yeah.
Because even non-Char specific armor, when put on Char, will sometimes add plating to the Char tails.
Yeah.
So I've seen MMOs do it.
Are we getting helmets? Fair enough. It's about time, honestly. Let's go. Bases, but I think we are pretty much. We have covered up Final Fantasy bases.
Yeah.
Why have I got it in my head that we were going to talk about something Final Fantasy related?
I mean, I went for dinner.
It's true, you did go for dinner.
I went for dinner, it was very fun.
A good cutscene.
What? I can't think of anything.
Oh, I don't think we do anything other than play Final Fantasy, to be honest.
Nah.
There's not really anything that we do outside of that.
No, I think that's pretty much it these days. good
You
emote.
fancy for that emote. Shall we broach the subject?
Well, in that case, where do we start?
Hey, you want to start, my friend? This happened to you. I just narrated it.
This is true.
I
this
just
is true.
enforced it. I mean, you started with the Keeper of Secrets.
Yeah. Take a sip. by the way.
Started there. No, I've got it in my hands.
In this instance, I would say it's a shame that Kay is apparently not here.
Okay, it's very busy.
He is busy. But yeah, I said this to Das last night, but I want to reiterate to you that I love the weird, and I guess weird isn't the correct word, but I love the friendship that Zal and Tala have developed.
Me too.
It's so like uniquely them.
Yeah. It's like it has big chaotic duo energy, but it's not chaotic in like a dysfunctional way. Like it's
Organized chaos.
yeah, it's organized chaos or like malevolent chaos. Like if you guys are in a party, in the whole party, and Dal and Tala separate to do something, I am prepared for a very specific set of tones. It is mischief. Also, like, wholesome in a way that I didn't expect.
A brand that is uniquely them.
Yeah, it's like...
But this session particularly, I was like, their interaction was uniquely them, but also, like, really, really sweet. And sweet,
Yeah.
and sweet is not something that normally occurs with them.
With not either of them, yeah. No. Like, they're uniquely unwholesome except to each other.
That's the thing. Even to each
Zala's
other,
not-
even to each other, they're not generally that wholesome, but it works.
You know what it is? It's like a sibling dynamic.
Yeah, I would agree. It is kind of siblingly.
It is a sibling dynamic. It's like Zal is the younger brother that you know you should keep an eye on, but you know you can't stop him.
Yeah.
So Tala's there like, okay.
I guess I'll
Here we
keep you
go.
company. I think that is a lot of her mental process. A lot of the time, like, it's like, yes, I can pick you up and yeet you through a window, but like, if I go to sleep, you're just gonna sneak out. So I might as well just say yes, we can go, and go with you, so that you don't end up tied up in a
At least
back
I can
alley.
monitor you.
Yeah. Like, if anybody's gonna throw you, it's gonna be me, but if anybody tries to do it, I can stop them.
If anyone's gonna throw you, it's gonna be me and no one else. No one else gets to throw you out a window apart from me. Yeah, it's that whole. I also love that dynamic playing NPCs off the two of you is very much Zal is the talker and Tala is a presence.
Oh yeah. 90%
it was
of the time in encounters, she is, I stand there with my arms crossed.
Yeah. It's a very silent, like Pokemon that have intimidation. Like, it's just like a... it's an aura that just happens. Zal is just...
much how she prefers it.
Shift. You know? Like, he... I never know. I never know how to brace for Kay. I don't think I ever can.
I don't think
I think he
anybody
will
can.
always. I think he will always find a way to either, if not surprise me, then be unafraid to jump when I thought there would be hesitation. And I love him for that.
It's literally his brand, you could say.
Yeah.
Like, Kay is infamous for it. It's like, as much as we joke about chaotic stuff, it's like, he does... It's not that everything he does
Probably
is...
the most strategic player.
Yeah, it's not that everything he
All of
does is
us.
chaotic. Unexpected is not the same as chaotic.
Exactly.
But you definitely
Maybe
have
it's
it
playing
right in that there is
chess
a
all
there
the
is a
time.
certain level of being not afraid, which I generally I find quite admirable because
Yeah.
generally I am terrified of consequences.
I'm trying to channel it a bit busy at the moment. Be a bit less like self-preservation-y. Just go. If that's what you gotta do, just do it. And part of that helps because I'm often in DMs with Kay, and he's like, "Do it." Zal is like, Zal's a special case because I think Kay's got to a point where he's found so many little things that he's trying to put together. That he doesn't have context for most of those things. He's always looking for more secrets and knowledge, which is why Keeper of Secrets is the best to play off of him. Would recommend to any DM out there putting a character in front of your players, especially your players who like your story, and going, you can find out pretty much whatever you want. What are you willing to pay? Would recommend.
It's particularly helpful in an online setting because you can just take a player away to tell them stuff. Because I think it only happened once when I was playing at the table where I had two players do a thing where I literally had to be like, okay, I'm going to do something different here. I need you two to stay at the table. I need the rest of you to go next door. I need everybody to go into the other room. And there was this like confusion because I'd never done anything like it before, and I was like, I'm sorry, but the easiest way for me to do this is to just have you in the other room with music on while I talk to these two about this.
And I mean, this time I gave you guys the choice. I think even just Kay, you were all like, no, go to a different channel.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Yeah, for those of you who are not in the game, which is very few of you, I feel, but there we go.
I think for me it's the stark difference in my characters. Like I've had characters like Dalmara who do shitty things, but whenever anything, and either in or out of character has a slight go, I would try to defend myself and be like, well, you know, she did this for these reasons and for these reasons and for these reasons. With Tala, it's literally the opposite of like, no, I understand she is being shitty, and I would like her to stop being shitty. So if you are trying to do stuff to stop her, I thoroughly encourage you. It probably won't.
Oh, yeah.
It probably won't work, but you are welcome to try.
You can certainly try is a thing in this game for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah. Keeper of Secrets was fun to play off, you guys. That's where we started.
Yeah, your roleplay was fun, where you were like, you know, he just takes a step back while the two of you are talking. It's like honestly, even though like they're so grandiose, one of the most normal demons I've ever met.
Oh, Keeper of Secrets, yeah.
One of the most normal demons I've ever met.
Cash.
So I'm talking to Zal, and I'm just like, hold up, holds up finger, excuse us. What?
Sure.
just holds up a finger. So one of the most normal demons I've ever met. Very charming.
Yeah. You guys didn't really get into his whole deal, but there's like he was very content. You know, you guys were doing business with him. There was currency exchanging hands. There was no reason to not give you guys the space you needed. You know, it wasn't like you were just talking and wasting his time. You were giving him things. That's what he wants. He's doing very well for himself. Yeah. Top 10 characters Thane wants to speak to. Does he now? Does he or do you?
Yeah, is this Das bleeding over into Thane again?
Looking devil you've ever seen in a bright pink pinstripe suit.
Brilliant.
What's the difference? That should be one, bitch. we began, you guys paid a devil for the weaknesses of your enemies.
Yes.
Got, I think, more than you wanted.
Yeah, I think we did
Of that.
actually get a little more than expected, certainly.
Mm.
Location and weakness, and obviously once location was established, we were like, "Oh fuck, we
Fucking
can't-
go!
fuck." Didn't even say goodbye, just like, "Oh shit!" Grabs him, runs out the door.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye!
Come back sometime.
You will. If you guys are surprised when you guys paid for weaknesses and didn't expect me to go into the detail that I did. It's like, no, you pay for weaknesses, that includes, like, personality flaws.
Sometimes we are too mechanically minded.
It's true. Yeah. I can, oh god, I think I'm gonna hear in my mind when Tyler went outside and Kay asking me the question.
Yeah. You and me
And then
both.
we kind of lost Kay for the rest of the session.
Yeah, a little bit.
I took Kay down to a different channel, shot him in the head, and then brought him back.
I don't know what you're talking about. You gave him exactly what he wanted.
So, I mean, he got what he wanted. Got what he paid for. That does, and I'm not going to.
My hands feel very dry.
Yeah.
Some
I have
moisturiser.
never seen Kay that angry at me.
Hey, we showed you what he said in our little private chat.
Yeah.
Forbidden knowledge. He's like, oh no, this isn't forbidden knowledge. I have hatred towards this knowledge.
Yeah, it's not that I wish I didn't know this. I violently hate it. After the session was completely done... Was it that day? Yeah, I think it was. After everyone else had gone to bed and me and Kay stayed up till 3 in the morning talking about D&D. Because we're responsible adults. He was like, I need you to know that in this exact moment I actually dislike you. In the most loving way, I actually dislike you, and I was like, yes, brilliant. All I ever wanted.
Bring your anger to there.
Kay's gonna see me in person on September 1st, and I'm gonna be like, a friend, and he's just gonna shoot me in the head.
He's gonna hug you, and then he's not gonna let go, and just keep getting tighter
I'm
and
just gonna
tighter
die.
and tighter.
Yeah. Never seen Kay that fucked up, and I would take that as a compliment. Actually, Das. Legit. Because I was thinking, like, what do they have that has... Because you guys were obviously approaching it from a monetary value.
Mainly because we
Historical
didn't
value.
want to give the other stuff, because we've dealt with things like
Correct.
that before. That's why when we came in, that's why I said, like, literally, Tala saying to Zal, just like, material only. Material goods only.
Yes, for those of you who are not in the session, the devil trades in both material and immaterial goods. So both things like, you know, gold, fine goods, but also like souls, hearts. Because, of course. Different secrets have different prices.
Some things have no material value.
Yes. Or I think more specifically only have immaterial, like they're worth more than the material can be worth. If that makes any fucking sense. There is nothing material that is worth that much. But yeah, I traumatized Kay. by telling him exactly what he wanted to know. And then you guys ran.
Yeah, we freaking booked it.
Ran in a strange maze of a place that you need. The clearer your knowledge and intent of the place you're trying to get to, the easier it is to get there. Booked it to the Gentle One, and I have been thinking about the Gentle One encounter every single day since it happened.
Will the real Hurry Alessador please stand up?
I was so excited about the Gentle One because there were so many different ways I'd thought about how that room would go, and like encounters and things, what had happened if you'd run into Lilith in there. Endless thoughts of things that could have happened. And there is like a set way to get through that chamber that the Vanguard used. But you guys didn't know it.
Nope.
Did I, on any level,
the answer is no. The answer is no, I'm gonna tell you now.
Hurry Alessador to just... Oh, no, I didn't. I mean, it's called the Gentle One for a reason, like...
It's a suitable name.
Yeah. I'm very sweet. They just can't, you know, they're also, like, Death Incarnate and can't communicate very well. They just kill things. What I also loved, shout out to as much as I fucking will be obsessed with what Hurry did in that scene forever, shout out to the rest of you for staying in the state of horror that I left you in. The rest of you were still panicked and horrified even after things started getting wholesome with Hurry. I appreciate that. The dichotomy of the two of you was very good. Maybe. Like a horrifying idea of a place. It's like it's just really dense, dark blue mist. Occasionally there's a little like fireflies, but you can't see. You don't know which way you're going. You don't know how far you've gone. You can't see your hand in front of your face.
The question is, which pattern do I pick? I might just go for Meadow, because Meadow is the default.
Yeah. I think if I recall, Thane failed a save, right?
Yes.
Zal brackets, his day was already ruined.
His day was already ruined.
Very true. Failed a save, yeah.
Yeah. Tala rolled, like, honestly the best all night, if I were to toot my horn.
Yeah. Tala rolled very well.
It's very funny to me, the idea of, like, literally almost the entire party is falling apart around her and Tala's just like, what? Especially when one of the reasons that one of her teammates are falling apart is about her, and she's still just like, will you get it together, man? Jeez, what's your problem?
Additional layer of funny is that the like save on that is kind of like an eldritch thing, right? Like it's the scale and the immensity of what you know is right next to you, but you can't see it or like perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's that juxtaposition of you know how immense this thing is, but you can't right there, but you know it's there. But for Tala, she's like, Tuesday.
The world's full
Tuesday.
of eldritch horror, bitch. Let's get you a smoothie.
That's the quote the stream today. Oh my god, this is a. What year is it suddenly? Holy shit, Blue.
What?
I'm still listening to Tyler's fucking playlist. What year is it?
I'm being outed in the fact that it turns out I never let go of anything.
This bitch says it. Oh no, that's.
I don't forget things, especially not things to do with my friends. I feel like I should rectify that. Yeah, I don't forget things generally with my friends. The reality is that I forget a lot of shit. So I should probably rectify that on stream.
Alright, I'm
let the record show that I forget many things.
Yeah. I looked at the album and it said it came out in like 2018. I was like, there's no way this song came out in 2018. No way. 2007, thank god. But yeah. And then the session ended in a very normal way. Nothing happened at the end of the session.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got through the Gentle One's chamber just fine. Then everything was good from that.
And then next week, Thane is going to get his arm ripped off from Tala reaching speeds of Mach 30 in under 3 seconds.
Possibly be talking about.
It's funny to me, Das, because I literally get to say to you, like, now you know how it feels when I've been in sessions with Dalmara and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do until I roll initiative. and I just sit there for a week thinking, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Because it's all well and good thinking, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. It means nothing until initiative has been rolled.
What do you mean? We're not gonna roll initiative? Live that long.
Thane and Tala will, because then we need to see who's gonna move first.
Yeah, just between the two of you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if no one else is, the two of them are.
Rush just at the top of the stairs like, I let this happen. I allow this. But yeah, Mara Everina is there, by the way. This is the TDLR.
So yeah, this is the
of me
thing.
being
This
shitty.
is the thing that we keep not saying.
Yes.
Hey guys, the big bad is just there.
She's vibing.
She's just chilling. What you doing? Oh.
It's fine. She's interacting with a thing, and I'm sure it's fine, whatever she's doing. I definitely just closed the stream by accident, so I don't even know what people said in response. Oh my god, that Blue, this playlist is killing me.
Wow, it has been a while since you've listened to it in its entirety, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like 2 songs in here that I either just haven't listened to it since you added these 2, or I just, when I put this on shuffle, I just don't get to these 2.
Potentially,
but
yeah.
like, holy shit, I have not heard these songs in 1,000 years.
Because I have a
life.
tendency to listen to it in order rather than on shuffle.
Yeah, I might do as well if I haven't got to this point.
Like, they haven't been put in a particular order, they are the order I've added them in, but that is just kind of the order I'm used to.
Yeah. Killer the Lights on it? You do love me.
Mwah.
Right. It's funny. What I love about last session is if I'd ended it at any point, it would have been a good point to end it on. But it just kept.
Kept going. I mean, as it was, as Just so perfectly said, we started with a deal with the devil and then the literal embodiment of death, and those aren't even the worst things that happened.
I mean, yeah.
We just kept playing
Right,
playing the escalation game, apparently.
Oh yeah. You guys are in interdimensional. You guys are in the apple core of an interdimensional Nexus prison. Things are weird in here.
Sure are. Welcome to the SCP Foundation.
That you're in currently, yeah. Extraplanar quarantine. Can you believe that you guys nearly didn't come in here?
I have
That's
the bit,
actually
that's
how
the bit that
the
I've lost my
session
mind
started.
over the most, I think. Weirdly. The bit
Oh
that
yeah,
has driven
me
me
too, I assure you.
the bit that has driven me most crazy is the fact that we were so close to not going this way.
Yeah. For sessions where I was like, I've described that bit's been broken into. So I've done that. And then they might still not go that way. But what happens if they don't go that
Yeah,
way?
we were like seriously tunnel visioning because we were like, well,
Yeah, that is actually how that happened at the beginning.
Because we were like, well, whatever we do here, we've still got a big fight to do, and we do not want to be.
Yeah, your logic was perfectly sound.
We do not want to be, weakened for this really important fight that could result in all of us being killed. So we don't want to be getting distracted. But it reached a point where it was like, let's just go check, because there's stuff here that's like really, really dodge.
Yeah, because we actually started with hell tunnelers. It's actually how we started the session. Is you guys investigated where something had tunneled through, and I was like, it's infernal, and you were like, it's a what now?
That was the thing that slammed the brakes on, where we just went, hold up a second.
What do you mean? Right, interdimensional SCP containment of a goddess with her most devoted servant that we know of, jingling the keys at the lock. The description. Yeah, and I also liked your reasoning in the moment for going that way of like, we can go up to the fort, but what if this, whatever the fuck this is, comes up behind us?
Yeah.
Because I hadn't even thought about it that way, but like, that makes a lot of sense.
Too tactically minded.
Yeah.
Like, in the moment, I was like, I hate this, but I hate the idea of being snuck up upon more.
Yeah. Remember, that was very much the tone of conversation surrounding it. So it was just a lot of like good calls. Well, I wouldn't even call them good calls. Just like a lot of plays last session that in hindsight worked out really well for you guys. Like Kay being like, I think it's the Keeper of Secrets. I think it's the Keeper of Secrets that they're going for. Even though that wasn't correct in the end, it was probably the smartest play you could have had. Intentionally has a good point. He intentionally had a good point. Expected. I'm well pleased with that session, by the way. And
I
made
don't
that
blame
clear
you.
enough. Yeah. It's a DM win.
100%.
Would love to have known when I started describing the room that you guys are in currently, there was this look on all of your faces of like, this better not be going the way I think it's going, but I don't know what you were all expecting.
I mean, basically, I was expecting there to be somebody there. The
Yeah.
person that I was
I
expecting.
described it.
Yeah, it obviously wasn't who I was expected, but it was one of those things where I was like, did we get here first or didn't we? So that was the bit I was waiting for. I was like, room gets described first, and then person that is in the room.
Expecting Lilith to be there in instant con saves. That would have been a dick way to end a session. Everyone make con saves. You all die. End the session. Seriously, the point still stands, because the last thing we want is to get me snuck up on. We just didn't know that that included Lilith and fucking Mara. That's true. They're potentially the worst people to sneak up on you.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, what has happened is that we were snuck up on, but inversely.
You arrived at the sneak up on.
We were reverse snuck on because we arrived at the place and they were already there, and we were like, "Shit, we weren't expecting you to be here."
I mean, neither did she, apparently. Only thing she said to you guys, I didn't expect you guys to be here first. She didn't. she didn't. Yeah. This place is fun because every single room is... There's no logic to how the rooms are connected. So it's fun to launch into a description. Like, this room that you're in is in, like, a big, open... Like, it's meant to be like the top of a mountain. There's like a Grecian temple.
Yeah.
It's just here. Don't question it.
Colours are messing with my brain, but that's good because it's practice.
Yeah.
Hello?
But yeah, Kay's gonna go directly to the Keeper of Secrets was that you guys didn't see in that place. Extraplanar Quarantine is massive. It's like, in terms of not like yeah, it's like one of the bigger areas I've ever like mentally planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys got to go around a lot of it. You knew where you were going.
Which is apparently all that matters.
Thane sneaking down to the Keeper of Secrets like it was Al. Hey, what's Lucille's last name? Oh. And asking. It's the payment that's damaging. It's the payment that costs. Asking is free.
It won't cost much.
Yeah, how many Disney references do we make? So many. Shake my head. I'm trying to avoid having to make this entirely from scratch, but I'm gonna have to. I didn't want to do this entirely, but fuck it. First, shall we? Was it only 10 to 9?
It is closer to 9 than 10 to 9 by my reckoning. Of course, I'm only now remembering that Vivillon is the devil Pokemon.
Oh, good.
Pokedex number 666.
Oh, right, that's what you mean.
Yep.
Health check coming on.
Hey!
There it is.
Stanji comes with his health check.
And she's here. It took me a minute there, Das, to realise you meant KOS as in Keeper of Secrets and not like the Orphan of Kos from Bloodborne.
Vivillon. Okay, that's warm up done. Just in time for 9 o'clock. It's time to get to the meat of the matter.
My girl. Girls.
I'm just throwing it out there. I am fully prepared when the time comes to run headlong into something awful. I am.
When the time comes, you mean next session?
I am fully prepared. I've done it before on a character where I'm just like, I'm just gonna run, and they're like, you realise you're gonna take a punch of damage. I'm like, they don't care. I've done it
So
before,
be it.
and I'm gonna do it again. So if you run in there, you're probably gonna trigger off a trap. I don't care. It's what they would do.
Yep. There's so many things I want to talk about with this setup, but I can't. I can't. I loved watching all of your faces though as I started describing the person, because she wasn't dressed how you've seen her previously, or everyone has seen her previously. I saw some of you be like, oh, it's someone else. I'll start writing down details, and then I said who it was, and you're like, ah, fuck this, actually.
You know what? I changed my mind. Actually, fuck this.
Actually, I've decided not to listen to you any longer.
Oh god, there's so many layers on this thing now.
Yeah, I see that. Do you see that? Oh, well. Apparently I have already done this. I just needed to fix that part. That's... Okay, this is not going to take me very long. Maybe I will write today after all. Got it in my head that I still need to write. I've got it in my head as if it's part of the itinerary and not like a meme I said I'd do. But I've still got in my head that I need to write Iffy and Raman.
Yes! Please!
Tackling Exa. Be like, you cannot go to dinner with Lord Boreal in that.
What? What's wrong with wearing the Dragoon armor? It's professional attire!
For Estinian, maybe? It's just going to look weird. I'd... yeah, fuck it. Bad about Okap. We shouldn't have talked about Okap. I'm too excited now. Things. Usual challenge of when I'm making something of being like, I know how this looks in my head. How the fuck do I convey that? In regards to next session, my next character I want to play. What do you mean? Like I said, you're not even gonna roll initiative.
I believe it. I know you.
Full chuckle. I mean, it's not a surprise what map I'm making here.
No.
Or finishing, I should say. I'm trying to fucking make some kind of icon that is that weird gold shield that you guys can see from the bottom of the... I don't even know how slightly I'm gonna make a thing for this. effects on things again, I think. I'm gonna have to try and draw the asset for this. Please, Lord, no. I might have to try and draw. Ugh. Ugh. I say, as you draw.
as I draw, I also go, ugh. Drawing.
For this. How much looks in my head, though? Media, this is why I write.
You don't need to roll initiative because we'll start fighting each other.
What do you mean? I love being shitty and ominous.
It's fine, it's part of the fun of being a DM.
Yeah. No, I'm not apologizing in like a meaning. I'm not even apologizing.
I know.
Give me a lot of like tutting noises from me for a while. Okay, it's closer. Leia. I've just... Sometimes you pay attention to a song for the first time in a session of listening to it, you're like, very good.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The song that's currently playing is Walk on Water.
Ah!
I wasn't really paying attention to it until just now.
When the DM just goes, wait.
So proud.
Thank you.
So proud. I'm gonna kill you.
I know.
You're honest. Some of these I was braced for.
I live to please.
Fury kills me. No, right. Sure. It's important. was vibing too hard to the song because it's a song I really like, and then I was like, oh, ow, actually.
I'm just racking
Yeah,
up the
take it
points
back.
tonight.
Really are.
Combo.
It's because I'm hyper focusing on something else, which means weirdly I'm paying attention more to the lyrics than I normally would. Like I know all the words of this song. I fucking love this song, but I've like, and I know this one has been in this playlist because I was like excited for it, but I don't think I've really thought about the context of some of the words. Ow. Uncalled for, honestly.
Which one is it this time?
Luck. I've heard Luck in here 1,000 times. First verse.
That's quite an old one on the playlist.
Yeah, I've like, it's one of my favorite, like, I love this song, just in general in my life. Not think about the "Forgive me, mother, I know I've let you down" in Tala's context. Good job.
Racking up the points and dealing psychic damage to the DM.
I'll get you for this. Today you made me feel things it's not allowed.
What's the fucking point?
Really gonna need to be nihilistic for next session? That's not necessary. Be as optimistic as you wish. In fact, I would actually encourage it. You don't have optimism, what do you have?
A certain.
I've apparently decided I'm going to be very aggro about this. Apparently decided for some reason I'm going to be really aggro about this.
Only because we are, I think.
Yeah, I'm feeding. I'm just a reflection of your energy. It's the dark truth of DMing. just reflecting you back at yourselves.
Yep.
Trick, let's go. I know. I guess not in a shadow. I guess what I want is in a glow for this one actually. Let's go for that. Hat? No! Bring it back!
Good night, sweetie.
Alright, girls.
She's hyper-focusing right now.
Did he say goodnight?
Yeah, he did. He said good night, girls.
Nice big.
I find
Sorry,
it,
I'm plotting Blue's
it,
demise.
I personally find it very sweet that on Tuesdays now Spook Habit is to bid both you and me good night.
I know! He does not have to. It's very sweet that he thinks he must. I guess this is what I want, right?
So I could continue the table because the claws are now a bit more in place.
I guess this is what I wanted.
Let's solidify the shapes of the chair a bit more.
Are you ready for chat? I hope you're ready for me and Blue mutter about things you have no context for. Mumble, 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 mumble.
Mumble, mumble, mumble. I am gonna go top up my drink.
Understood.
I will be right
attempt
back.
to entertain while also concentrating very hard.
And occasionally receiving whiplash from my playlist.
Yes, apparently.
Be right back.
Fine. It will come back, and I know what to expect from this one. Oh yeah, I know Blues. Trust me, I'm aware that Blues playlists slap, and I've listened to this playlist many a time. Tis merely I have not listened to it of late. Trust me, I'm very well aware of Blues' talent for playlist making. Long-time co-collaborators. Blue and I. Worked out a lot better than I expected. Perfect, but it does look right. Like it makes sense. See if I can make this make sense in terms of size. Rotate it. Sorry, I just got excited again. Completed maps. There it is. I finished that way quicker than I thought I would. But then to be fair, I did do 98% of it. Grandson. I love fucking. Save things and Photoshop's not responding. Again, no thoughts, no prayers. I love Granson's music. I've been trying to edit a section of a Granson song for now, but I can't make it fit into something that I'm working on. But I listen to Granson a lot. His like newest album is illegally good. Very angry though. For a while. Yeah, it's just Bad Apple and Killer that I haven't listened to in forever. Like as songs, not even on this list. My phone is being remarkably unhelpful lately. Right, okay. What am I gonna do? I should probably get that.
Pray return.
Hello.
Hi.
I have finished the thing I was doing. Didn't take me very long at all.
I come back and the first thing I see in chat is more compliments for my playlists. It gives me the good feels.
Was vibing to Granson. Cause I love me some Granson.
Moisturise my hands because they're very dry right now.
unfortunately, Talos playlist will have to go because I'm changing vibes. A dramatic 180 in vibes is happening.
But now it's in your brain of, I should listen to that more.
Yeah. Always think that though. Still got the Keeper of Secrets music playing. As it slaps. Think thing. Probably wasn't at one point. Brain's been very helpful by forgetting what I'm doing every 2 seconds. I think Thane suffers on himbo scales because he's actually not dumb. Like, not in terms of, like, all himbos. You know, he's not, like,
yeah, your standard
bimbo dumb.
your standard himbo is, you know, thick as two
Real
bricks.
dumb.
Yeah.
Is this? Am I gonna have to? Oh no. You get it. Kronk is the model.
Yep.
Oh no, I have to do math.
Rip.
Oh wait, no I don't. No I don't. I don't have to do math. I do. Fuck.
Humanity restored.
Very simple math, that's fine. So this is very simple math, huh? Oh. So we just need to make it. is that done? Time to pivot.
Pivot, pivot.
But it's on a Fig News playlist. Much better. Popular from Wicked. is the song I should put on here.
They're gonna be popular.
Around, isn't it, with me and you? You are definitely the Glinda of our friendship.
Yeah.
It's a compliment.
Oops.
As much as I want to be Fiera, I'm definitely Alphaba. Just in life, not in specific, just in life. It's in Wicked, or listen to Wicked. You're missing out. On both this joke and in life. I need a subfolder. I need 2 folders within my Final Fantasy thick folder. Things I did for memes and like feelings I'm trying to work out. The 2 type of fics that are in here. There's fics that is just me trying to work through my extreme emotions, and then there are fics in here that are memes that I've made mostly for you. Why were we talking about Headbands of Intelligence? Oh, because we were talking about Posey, right. Right. We were talking about the fact that Runar and Posey are dumb as shit. Stupid. We're in a secrecy pact and we're stupid as hell. Not a brain cell in sight.
Yeah, with the pop party, sometimes it's a wonder they have enough brain sense to get outdoors.
That's what we have King Widdick for. We have the parents who are carrying the brain cell. There's so many characters in my brain I would love to play one day that are smart. But I'm cursed. I'm cursed. To never play a smart character for all of my days. Even all the Oakheart NPCs you guys gravitate towards are dumb.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah, I can count. Definitely a count on one hand situation in Oakheart with the brain cell. But then there's a difference between having the brain cell and being smart, isn't it? Because Flair definitely has the brain cell, but he's not smart.
Oh yeah, I think the term having a brain cell is literally the middle
It's a
ground.
wisdom stat.
I think it's a little bit of the middle ground of being a little intelligent, but mainly having wisdom.
That's not dumb. Actually, what is Flair's in? Hang on a minute. Because I know Lee's in is terrible. now. Fortunately, does not like what I have done. Hisn't okay. What's that? What's that? Is it that Flare has this shit? Ah! Right, of course. How could I forget? Charisma. Boy. Dear boy. My darling boy. I feel that, Das. Maybe we can come to some arrangement. Give Posey one, I'll give Tame one. A DC for my blood curses, Das. Even DC on my blood curses hurts.
Hashtag relatable.
Is Tyler's DC also 11?
It might be, yeah. It's not high.
I've already offered that and you laughed at me, fucker. Oh, that sounds right. It's something I would do. Right, I'm gonna take my BRB slot.
Sure.
Because my brain's turning off, which is not useful. But I shall pray return momentarily.
Take care, then.
Give me just a minute. Da-da-da-da.
I think I know what I want to do.
tired and thinking cold. I hide in my music, forget the day, and dream of a girl I used to know. I closed my eyes and she slipped away. She slipped away. It's more than a feeling, when I hear that old song they used to play, and I begin dreaming, till I see Marianne walk away.
Prey returned.
Prey return.
Prey returned, and we have an outfit change. I am now comfy.
Hey, comfy time.
Comfy times. That only took as long as it did because I can't decide how perspective I want to write this from, and it was really bothering me. It's still bothering me. Oops, excuse me. It's still bothering me. I think naturally I want to write from X's perspective. That's hard. If his perspective wouldn't make any sense. So the sacrifice of this is I'm now comfy, but I'm also warm. I may actually be able to obtain fan. 1 second. I have to get the right comfy balance
I know,
of
I know.
wearing things that feel like cuddles, but also not overheating. texture balance obtained. A little right in perspective of someone else's character because I feel misrepresenting their OC. Yeah, I feel that. I think it's also hard. I don't know if it's misrepresenting, because I think I get the character well enough that I feel like I wouldn't be doing it an injustice. I think it's to do with voice. Because especially, like, taking away from the current situation for a second, with, like, D&D, a lot of, I think, character voice is tied up with how you think that person's voice and how they speak. And that can be difficult to crack, because it's literally the way someone else speaks and thinks, essentially. Makes it a lot harder. Envy people who are really good at voice, actually. Is it? If you have a knack for character voice, you can be like a chameleon in terms of writing. Because everything you do, if you're really good at character voice, you can sound like a completely different writer every. You're right. I think I could write Talhari or Tala or even Lucille. I see that. That's why a lot of my like D&D fics don't really feature other people unless it's literally about things that conversations that actually happened. And the thing is as well, like, you just take a crack at it. I've never done it and had people dislike what I came out with. As long as you go into it with best understanding you have and spirit of the character, you kind of can't fuck it up so much that people won't like you making content for their OCs.
Yeah, anytime you have to remember that anytime anybody makes anything that features their OC, it's like their birthday.
Yeah. Any possible perceivable sin is forgiven. Oh, this song on a Figures playlist kills me. It's not even, it's like the happiest song on this playlist, but it fucking kills me. You Are Enough, Sleeping at Last. A lot of the Fig News playlist is very wholesome. Like, one song on it that's kind of sad. Yeah. The rest of it is just wholesome. At least wholesome or chill. Trying to work out what the setup for this is. Like, where do we begin? Where could we be? Because in my head, I have very specific beats for this. I feel like if Exer and a Figure are talking, it's probably at Athenium. I mean, it could be at the congregation, actually, at that point in the story.
It could be very funny if she's just like, why are you wearing the Dragoon armor? You never wear that. Oh, I'm going to a dinner. What?
That's the funnier thing. This is not the way I'm gonna pace it, but like, there is the funny image of like, because yeah, the ceremonial armor, so being like, wait, what the hell?
I find it funny that Exa treats it as ceremonial armor.
Yeah,
Because it
it's
very
really
much
not
isn't
meant to be.
canonically. That, like, you have to go through a whole process to get it made. It's meant to be proper powerful armor, but X is
Yeah.
just like, eh.
I can feel through osmosis if Ignia stressed that Exa does not wear the thing that's designed to do the Dragoon nonsense that she does. Clearly that armor is designed to mitigate damage done by standard Dragoon actions, and she doesn't wear it. Well, this is the thing. Aaron, please give me the okay on this. I'm begging you. But basically, the way I'm thinking of this is Romanen essentially as like the fairy godmother from Cinderella. Essentially, in terms of function in the story. It's like Iphigenia, the beats of this in my head are, oh yeah, it's like I can't ignore that Romanen is slightly fey, just in general. Like, I can't ignore that as a person, as a writer. It would be a disservice to the good work you have done. So in my head, it's just like Fignia encounters Exa, finds out about this invitation, either before or after she gets ready, and then it's like, I know, it's instead of I know a place, it's I know a person. Because if Fignia will definitely have opinions, and she is like pretty formal as a person, but she also is self-aware enough to know that the way that Fignia dresses and the way she would dress up would not be comfortable for Exa. Because Iphignia is quite, like, traditionally girly. She's quite feminine, she's quite formal, girly. I don't remember what I actually wore for that cutscene. I think I straight up wore gown. Yeah, because my canon outfit at the time was a gown. Screenshots of it somewhere, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just I have a whole, trust me, I have a visual in my brain, but it's just working out where specifically it starts. I guess, yeah, that would make sense. Okay, I have it. Have it in my head. This fucking the dumbest thing I have ever thought this seriously about.
I like to think from, like, an in-character perspective, it's one of those things where, like, Exa went through the whole process of making the armor and obtaining the armor and being proclaimed the Azure Dragoon, and she did wear it for a while, but I think after spending time in Ishgard, and especially having now at the time I hadn't done it, but having now done a lot of Heavensward stuff, it became more about the association of the armor.
It's definitely a burden. Without spoiling certain things about the ends of Heavensward, like, there's a lot of symbolic weight on that armor.
Yes.
Sets of it.
Yeah. I mean, you heard me saying, like, when I was watching the last few bits of cinematic, I'm like, they're still putting in class-specific dialogue for the fact that I'm...
Yeah.
Even now,
Aaron
even at
went
the
off
very
in
end,
our
they're
private
still
DMs about that.
they're still
We were like,
putting in
"How?"
class-specific dialogue.
Yeah, because yeah, I totally like. Would it be a thing of like by the time all the Ishgard stuff? God, being vague about this is difficult. All the Ishgard stuff is done. X is like, only is this not like there's something about the association. What's the word I'm looking for? pressures of it, like the expectation that comes with it, that's of wearing it, that's uncomfortable for her.
Yeah. I mean, after Heaven's Ward, unsurprisingly, I'm interested to see what the Dragoon storyline becomes, the class quest.
Feel that. Yes, I literally have you on the line. If I'm gonna write Exa, I can just interrogate you.
Yes.
Is like, oh God, doing this without going into specifics is going to be a little tricky. Like, what is like X's resting mood at the moment? Main story.
At that moment in time, I guess there is. It is because that literally the reason the dinner is happening is because it is a respite. It's like, oh, we've just gone through.
It's finally over.
We've just gone through so much shit. I think in herself, if we are
Check, by the way.
thinking about it, yes, it is a bit more logically rather than just taking the lol X is a massive jock again, sort of talking about the seriousness of it. There is sort of coming to terms of the fact of like what Dragoons are / were and how that has now changed because the relationship. So I think in the same way that I am curious what the Dragoon class quest is going to be after experiencing what Heaven's Ward, maybe Exa herself is like, being a Dragoon is what I am ridiculously good at, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do now because I know what Dragoons are supposed to do, and we're not doing that anymore.
Right.
And maybe there is the sort of thought of like, especially with Emmerich and the dinner being like, you know, what are you gonna do with yourselves? And you know, when I was watching the cinematic, I was like jokingly like, I'm gonna make a chocobo farm, but maybe Exa was legitimately thinking like, what do I do? Because with another class, it's with literally any other class, you could argue that they would just continue to do, you know, I'm gonna continue to do, you know, white mage stuff. I'm going to continue to do paladin stuff. But if you're playing a Dragoon after Heaven's Ward, it's like
your purpose.
Yeah, playing after Heaven's Ward, obviously not knowing what the next expansion is going to bring in the world, you kind of would be in a state of like, I don't actually know what to do with myself.
Okay.
So it's going to be quite almost. I would say almost out of character for Exa, but again, Exa is not very formed as a character.
That's the great thing. That means there's no such thing. It means we can build what we want, and then see how we feel about it. I'm gonna. There's a tag in fanfic circles called "crack taken seriously." That's what this is. Crack taken seriously is just my DMing style. I think it's all DMing style if it's done right. Fuck, I forgot this song has a sudden guitar riff. Which you were jump scared by Cinderella. I memed about the Godmother, so I actually put the Fairy Godmother song on for the new Cinderella. I guess this is also a question I should ask. This is what I'm gonna write. Although I don't think I will get to this point. Might be important leading up to it. Might have to be a bit vague.
Mhm.
What is X's opinion on Emmerich?
I think
Even if it's just a vibe.
I think the general vibe is yes, she does like him.
Okay.
Yeah. Exa doesn't suffer from the Talus syndrome of thinking that nobles are all inherent or are all inherently assholes. If anything,
To be honest,
if
with
anything,
all the shit that Emmerich's done, even Tala would have like a burgeoning, like a bit of a respect for it.
yeah, I think Exa is also like edging on the verge of the himbo nature of being maybe a little bit dumb, but also generally quite likable and very strong. So she
Emmerich
isn't-
acts for solidarity.
yeah, so she isn't generally that malicious towards people. Like even like the jabs at Estinian are
Oh, yeah, kind of good-natured.
good natured
makes sense.
because it is literally, you know, I will beat you up, and it's like she will beat him up, but she means it lightly, except for the one time when she seriously
Can
had to.
handle Yeah.
Except for the one time when she actually had to beat him up.
Yeah. You get it, Tess. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. I see the Mara's happening.
Sure is. I wondered when you
I
would
go.
notice.
I have been watching it happen, but I didn't verbally acknowledge it. She's fun. She's fun.
She is.
Love her. Love her, but I also despise her.
Well, yeah, that's what you want from a villain, duh.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how it's meant to be. For me, this is the oh boy. I used to complain about being inexperienced about painting fur and teeth. I'm even worse when it comes to people.
I was gonna say just normal humans. That's not what she is. Very much not a normal human. Elaborate, Das. Vibe. I don't know what. I guess this is just a synth. This is not even a piano. Whatever this like melody that happens in Beauty has a price in Cinderella. It goes too hard.
Just realised I've done a bunch of stuff on the wrong layer again. Oop, shit. Camera.
Oh yeah. Scum of the earth and I loathe you, but nothing but admiration for the things you pulled off. Yeah, she's almost have to respect how efficiently terrible she is. she is evil and she is good at it. There's so much stuff. I don't know. I have no idea how much you guys will care about Mara in the long term. There's so much in my brain.
I can answer that for you a lot.
You want to know things about Mara?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. I'm fascinated watching you do this. I got distracted from what I was. I was very like go at what I was doing, and then I started watching you do this blending thing, and I'm like, what the?
It's a good feeling to at least have that because I literally am just winging it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's fucking working. and crazy watching this go from a couple of like red and black lines to watching you blend that into like, yeah, that's a mouth. That do be a mouth. Yeah. There's a lot to Mara. I'm interested to see, and if this happens, Mara interact with people who aren't Tala.
Yeah, I'm curious.
As much as
how that
I
will be.
love playing Mara off Tala,
Oh, I love it as well. I love playing Tala off Mara.
I wanna get in. Let me in.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, again, to pull back to my previous experiences, is like, you know, some of my absolute, if not the majority of my favourite times in Blood and Sand are when I'm able to play Delmara off Crumble. But I was also very, very keenly interested whenever he interacted with anybody else.
Yeah.
Because I was aware of how starkly different the relationships were, especially at the beginning when it was still somewhat a secret, and it was like everybody was perfectly fine with him, and it was just me, and everyone thought I was being weird, and I was like, screams for eternity.
I would know nothing about that.
Yeah, and then
these days.
yeah, and then afterwards, when it was revealed, and it's people knew, but they still had a very different dynamic, and I was still very much like, even just talking to them in character about him, with him not there, and just being like, you don't understand, and they're like, well, explain so we do understand, but then just being like, I don't want to, because she's like a little clam.
No.
She's like a little clam.
Backstory
She
for
just
you.
closes up and is like, no, I'm not talking about that. And then being just like, if you just told us, you could have avoided so much problems. And I'm just like, yes.
Correct.
If you had put in the effort to break through those walls, a lot of trouble could have been saved.
Yeah. Some of your characters, you do have to like get in there.
A lot of my characters, you do. It's you could argue that it's
Yeah.
another one of my themes that I seem to have a lot.
Yeah.
You have to work hard at it.
Thane has two moods. I am getting answers out of you, or shh, just leave it.
It's fair.
How much other shit is going on, to be fair. And I get it, because Tala's terrifying.
Oh yeah, as I've said, when I played Delmara, I was like, oh god, she can be just so bad. And then I made Tala, and I was like, wow! I have somehow
Congratulations, you one-upped yourself.
I have somehow made someone who is so much worse! And I thought I'd made a pretty shitty person the first time round.
I have conflicting feelings about whether Tala's a bad person. I have a lot of opinions on that.
That's a topic.
It sure is.
My simple answer would be no, but there is the entire thing is not a simple answer. Is the thing.
No question like that in my game is ever gonna be simple. Because I hate that shit. I'm here to make everything grey and complicated. But she is definitely a more hostile person. Would agree to that. She's more hostile than Delmara is.
Yeah, because when Delmara gets angry, she would get angry,
in.
but she would also she would be defensive angry, where she would try to turn.
Yeah, and Tala's played in attack mode.
Yes.
You do not play her face down in defense. Guys, I've made a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
I know.
That wasn't addressed to you. I know you know.
I've never played the game and collected the cards, but I did watch some of the anime when I was a kid.
I fucking love the anime. Unashamed. It's cringe in places and like so extra and ridiculous and nonsensical.
Sure is.
I love it.
Yeah. I was about to say young me, but I'll be honest, just me gobbles that shit up.
I like there's a real thing with like kids cartoons in the 2000s, like later 2000s, just making them really like dark.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
So like Yu-Gi-Oh's an anime technically. The 2004 TMNT, I will stand by that. Wolverine and the X-Men is kind of dark. Or they would have arcs in them that were dark. Love that shit. But yeah, I fucking live and die by Yu-Gi-Oh. But Yu-Gi-Oh GX can suck it, I don't care what anyone says. Oh no, I've just entertained a thought that I should not have.
Here comes a thought.
Did it? Oh no. No.
That song's
that
been on
might-
my mind a lot lately for multiple reasons.
Yeah. Good. It's a good song.
But go on.
Now thinking about what characters do you get characters? And I wish I wasn't. I cannot go down this path.
Yes, you can. Whoop whoop, we're back at teeth!
Get teeths.
Back at teeth, boys!
It's my brand now.
How dare you?
Vamp time. My vampires. Love my vampires. I should put more of them in my game.
No!
What do you mean?
Fine, you can, but you risk getting them murdered. By me personally.
Me in real life.
You put them in the firing line, they will get shot.
My arc is next, please, no vampires. Oh, my sweet summer child.
It's funny, you got Edmund to deal with. You can have all of that.
You can have... Like, no, I'm dealing with Mara and her other vampires. You can have Edmund.
You can have whatever's going on over there. Leave me to my
Oh.
shit.
I came along before the vampires. God, I love them so much. They're so terrible. I was so worried that I would make villains that disappointed me.
Absolutely
game.
not.
It has not happened. And Mara's more terrifying than Eddie. I think Mara and Edmund are terrifying in different ways. Oh, partly designed that way.
I would say that
But I
I
think-
think the main reason for that, from my perspective, is purely because Mara is more present because of
That's
Tala.
what I was gonna say, yeah.
Because of Tala. Edmund has just sort of
Also-
been a name, and then eventually he had a face, and then he just kind of appeared. Whereas Mara has just always been simmering away in the
Mara
background.
lingers, definitely. Also, like, their villain styles are different, yes? Like, Mara is the... Like, this is not from me as a DM, this is just, like, my observation as if I didn't own them. Like, Mara is the... Like, she's a bit more careful, she's a little bit more mocking and manipulative. Edmund is not so much that. Edmund is powerful in different ways, but he is less present. Mara's almost a metaphysical threat, but Edmund is a very physical threat, I think, at the moment. I'm glad Edmund made such an impression, though, because I definitely wanted him to. I was so worried that Edmund was going to fade away, but I wanted him to be present, so... They're awful in different ways, but part of why they like each other and part of why everyone hates them.
Okay, this is probably something that will get you talking. Is what do you think of the comparison of how Mara is paired with Tala and essentially Edmund is paired with Thane? What do you think that says about both their relationship and also Tala and Thane's relationship, and like how that sort of like cross four of like how Mara interacts with Edmund and Thane and how Edmund interacts with Thane and Tala?
I have a lot of thoughts on this, you are correct. They're not designed that way either. But find it interesting. Again, this is partly intentional, but I'm going to talk about it as if it's not. Tala is kind of person that deals with the threat in front of her, and she does so violently and physically. Mara is the kind of villain who is distant, tormenting, manipulative, and charismatic. Thane will always try and talk his way out of a problem, or kind of has that diplomatic first approach for the most part, apart from occasional cracks of anger. Paired against Edmund, who is incredibly violent, physical, and present. You have the logical villains at the end of your... If you're pairing it up that way, they are the logical opposites. Mara versus Thane is something, because that at that point becomes a game of chess. Tala versus Edmund is a brawl. It's a pit brawl. Kind of the way you guys have kind of those. Yeah, it's like the thing you're the least equipped for. Not necessarily that, but just like your opposite. Again, they're not designed that way. That Edmund is like top of Thane's shit list is not unintentional either. He's the... I talk about this vaguely enough. The same way that Mara, and a lot of vampires in Gothic lit, but Mara is like ultimate perverse decadence, right? Like, she's a noble woman, she's also the queen now, she's, I mean, vampires have always been like the perverse bourgeoisie, right? Like, they're literally feeding on the poor. So Tala's... I've already forgotten where I'm going with this, but Tala's like, hatred of her makes a lot of sense in that kind of context, because Mara's kind of Tala's to some extent always sticking up for like normal people. Forgotten where I was going. Oh yeah, Edmund. How do I say this based on just knowledge that you have? Edmund is some kind of corrupt, noble, kind of exiled, distant noble who is undergoing some kind of demonic, devilish, awful, corrupt transformation. Like, they're... I don't know how to articulate it. I've lost my point, but there was a way that was going.
Both me and Des have been sat with our chins on our hands, just like,
See you fuckers. I know you two.
Look, we like to make characters, and then we like to have those characters put through numerous stressful situations repeatedly.
But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Edmund's ended up top of Thane shitless in that way. Oh, let me put this to you two. This is what I have done to you and Das. End of sentence.
Slorp.
To be fair. Yeah, I didn't even psychoanalyze the fact that Mara and Edmund are in love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because then you would really there would be an uncomfortable mirror there. Not that there isn't already.
Yeah, there very much is already.
You know, rival to rival, like almost diagonally across, right? Mara, Tala has a lot more in common with Edmund than Mara. Just Mara might pretend otherwise. Hey,
as much as she might pretend.
But hey, maybe that's why Mara likes you so much. Don't psychoanalyze that. What would we do? I've got like some of Mara's lines playing in my head, like flashback to them. Both real pieces of work. I would love for you all to know more about both of them. Not allowed to continue that train of thought to Thane and Eddie. What do you mean? What could I possibly be implying?
Excuse me?
There's a... Mend is kind of built in opposition to certain characters, not just Thane, but Thane is one of them. There are parallels between specifically Edmund and like 3 characters off the top of my head that love to think about. He is in many, many ways, more than one level, a dark reflection of a lot of people in this game. Mara's different. You're implying that Edmund gets bored of Mara. Can you imagine? No, there's no way. How would you even get bored of Mara? She's... That would require her to be static for more than 1 second. She is consistent in a fucked up kind of way.
The tagline of Oakheart. Consistent in a fucked up
She is
kind of
consistent
way.
in a fucked up kind of way? Is that about me in that context?
There's no explanation, that's just the tagline.
It's going in the Discord description later, I'm sure.
Yep. Fucked up in a consistent kind of way, I'm typing that in there now.
I didn't mean for it to go this way.
love it when I spell a word so wrong that even spell checker doesn't have
Doesn't know what to do.
consistent.
There's a lot about those two. I would love to talk about in this moment, but I cannot.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think the best villains in anything are no more than 2 squares away from your protagonist.
Yep.
Not in terms of like actual distance, but in terms of character type. Their point of a villain is to illuminate. If you're thinking of a traditional like hero story, point of your villain is to illuminate the traits of your protagonist that shine the brightest. 4 of you are the protagonists, you dummy. That's the point. Hog the protagonist for yourself. If you want to go off the beaten track, I could go off about Mara and Zal.
That's true, we haven't even looked at that yet.
Mara and, like, okay. Level 1. Mara vs. Mara Tala and... Well, no, Mara... Articulate this. In terms of comparative analysis, I guess, there is Tala, Mara Thane. Next level of that is Mund Tala Hurry. You might not know enough about Edmund for that one. And Mara Thane Zal. That has a lot to do with... There's a couple of layers to that. What I find interesting about Thane and Zal, they're both playing narrative chess. They're playing same board but entirely different games. That's because Thane has a military background and Zal has a mischief/espionage background. I guess would be how you would put that. I think it's mostly just mischief. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe you guys will kill Mara next week and everything will be fine. Not next week, whenever we play next. They're allies. Really do appreciate that you had to put the preface more attractive with Edmund there. Edmund and Mara, look, I'll put it out there, they're not hot. All my villains are hot. That's canon. Some of them look can fucking suck it, but main villains, my big villains, have to be hot. I loved Kay's whole crisis when I shared Mara arts I had commissioned of being like, oh no, she's hot.
Yeah.
That was so fucking funny to me. I was like, I've done it. I've succeeded. She is, correct. But she's also profoundly evil. Kay would still have that opinion based on what he learned on Thursday. Loving what you're doing with this.
Thank you.
Really lost focus of what I was doing. Oh yeah. It'll be very clear to us. Church has no rights in my brain or in my world. That's just how it goes. Those are my terms. Oh god. I'm excited about so many things. I'm in a state at the moment as a DM. I'm so viscerally anxious and concerned all the time about my DMing, but I'm so excited about things in the future. I also can't stop. Like, if your reactions, all of your reactions to everything that happened on Thursday weren't enough to keep me going, I don't know what the fuck is. Especially Kay. I'm really, I want to reiterate, I'm really not convinced that Kay isn't going to kill me. It might happen. Okay, right. I need to stop watching you do this because I want to talk about Mara and Edmund a lot, and you guys don't. In the grand scheme of things, know a great deal about them.
It's true.
If only you knew someone who knew. I'm going to send you a message. I want your visceral reaction for it here. Okay. See you typing on Discord. I'm looking this way because it's where my Discord is, but... Your dot's moving. It's a lot of typing. Ooh, we're getting some lightning in there, boys.
Yas.
Right. Interesting. Keep that thought to you. Depends. Limits of what he can do. Or if he can really do anything. It's from what Zal knows. Pointy, lightning, pointy.
Sharp and pointy, sharp and pointy.
There's many things I could say about that desk, but I'm not going to. Comment you just made, not the one you typed to me.
Hello, you've woken up. Can I have a cuddle? No. No, I can't.
Is it a kitty?
Please let me have a cuddle. I would like one very much. Begrudging cuddle. Sadie, are you excited to see a friend soon? It'll happen soon. Less than
Me
a
and my
month.
friend.
In a month. Go see a friend in a month's time.
It is like we are not friends, we are mortal rivals.
I'm
We will
going to
battle to the
scream
death over
in
the
your ear.
airbed.
I am going to sleep on your face and suffocate you.
You can certainly try, my foe.
Go on. Fluffy pillow. There you go.
We all know she never would. She doesn't trust the airbed.
No. You
Don't trust
pick
it.
her up and put her on it, she just sort of freezes.
It's like ground made of putty.
We all know the reason, don't we,
Less than a month.
Sadie? Angry because small.
Oh. Don't be angry at all, Sadie. I'm tiny. Very little. Actually discovered recently I'm shorter than I thought I was, which is great. For reasons of graduation, you have to know how tall you are.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I'm shorter than I thought. Great. To know. It's because I probably, the last few times I've actually had my height measured, I've had Doc Martens on. Big chunks.
I'll do it.
So I actually saw what my height was and I was like, oh, I'm little. Interesting. Ah, on Latham. We will get there. Maybe we'll get into all that. So many thoughts. Sorry. Wow, my brain was like, pfft. Got all the things suddenly. I'll put it this way: there's none. All of your guys' like home countries, places. I want you guys to go there so bad because I'm viscerally excited about all of them for different reasons. Like, I used to do this with Amazius before you guys were ever here, but I used to just pick a place and just mentally like vibe there for a while and think about it and think about the vibe and what the atmosphere was like, and I'd do world building for it for no reason. But Amazius existed in my head for many years. At the moment, I'm vibing in New Nasrin. It's fun to vibe mentally in New Nasrin. It's a mess. It's fun. Let's check. It's nearly 11, fuck Christ.
Oof, wow, that went quicker than expected.
Really, I'm in to finish at 11.
Sure.
I'll get started on this, then I might just vibe. Talk to me about stuff, I guess. A lot about on the farm I'm excited about. When, if you ever go there. This playlist doesn't have many songs on it. I let it like I put the recommended on and just let it go. I keep finding songs for characters that are not Iphignia.
I never meant to be so bad to you. One thing I said that I would never do. A look from you and I would fall from grace. And I would wipe the smile right from my face. Do you remember when we used to dance? And incidents arose from circumstance. One thing led to another, we were young. And we would scream together, songs unsung. It was the heat of the moment, telling me what my heart meant. The heat of the moment, shown in your eyes.
This is where I'm like, surprise, fuckers! None of you are going home. The next arc's into Stan.
My mind honestly boggles over the concept of next arc because I'm already like, where the fuck do we go from here? It just keeps escalating.
Sure does, buddy. Sure does. I have plans. I have plans and thoughts.
It's so funny the stark contrast between you and me when it comes down to the thumb.
Yeah, I feel like On the Thumb's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be the third thing, right? Like, because Tala's On the Thumb, Thane's On the Thumb are two different On the Thumbs, but the truth must be somewhere between those two things.
This is where I'd put a home, if I had one.
I had one. And then, you know. And when, if you ever go to On the Thumb, a lot of it will change in how you go there, why you go there. You know? So if you take the and tone is important. Also, literally, like how you arrive there. If you take a ship all the way up there next year, be one thing. Take the Nexus to Northrealm and go from there. That'll be your thing. Saying using Astor like a taxi. Astor's been to Northrealm. He has not been to Onlethon. He did tell you that.
You don't get rights. Yes, Sadie.
Also, you guys are gonna hang out with Astor more if you want him to taxi you places. Left him with Flair, and those two do not get on. True. We'll get talking to Astor then, Death. Yeah. Estas. Yeah, you're a little busy at the moment. This is long-term hypothetical shit. You guys might die next time we play.
Because we're not going to even roll initiative.
Exactly.
That's not fair.
Said what I said.
That's not fair.
You don't need to roll initiative to make death saves. This is where I give you guys a week of downtime on the strict rule that you have to talk to an NPC every day.
Talos, they're just like, ugh.
I'll cover Talos shift. Above table, guys. Above table.
Can't they just
Oh,
work
Lord.
out in peace?
So many. Sure, Tyler, go work out with Lee.
Eye emojis.
Eye emojis. Tyler's like, sure, fine, but I'm talking to Lee every day. I'm not talking to anyone else. So many things. I'm like physically like bursting at the seams with all the things I want to say about various things. But I can't. Do you, Des? You're about to say, yeah. Next, yes, I do remember. And now for the arch nemesis, Blue. Final boss music, start. Yes, Des, I do remember that. Yep. So many things, so many things. I feel sorry for Kay, because he's, like, if this is how bursting it seems I am, and I'm normally pretty able to keep it in pretty bad, like, pretty good, Kay's probably dying. Can I just say, I love that through literal chance, Kay has ended up in real life so profoundly cursed with knowledge. Like, okay, in League of Legends and Warhammer ignoring all of us. In Plight of Princess, he has the burden of knowing he can change every bad thing that has ever happened at the expense of the entire game. Then in Oakheart, he has like a secret. he just I mean, he did this to himself to some extent, but
Yep.
I don't envy him. I have a little basket of secrets, but at least for one of them I'm a DM, so I meant to, and the other one, yeah, a little unbearable, but we manage. We're going slightly insane, I suppose, is what I'm saying. I want to ask something without giving something away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna restrain myself. I'll restrain myself. There's no way to phrase that sentence that hides my intent.
You alright, Sadie? I heard you make noise. Oh, zoomies. That the noise. Yay!
I will point out it is 11 p.m. or thereabouts. For reference.
But I gotta do this bit that's really important. There,
Yes, of course, of course, of course.
there we
Claws of the Beast.
go.
Gets red ones in this time. Silver ones.
It's about the contrast with the scarf.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Screams in symbolism.
Also, not to like be that guy, but like it's also a pretty common thing with vampires because they're meant to be like feral, so they have claws and it's normally depicted by like long sharp nails. Not to be that guy.
You're literally that guy, though. That's literally just it's you. But that's you, though.
Light of truth burns me.
Hands, why?
I think you're doing it.
As if drawing them wasn't hard enough, I'm now trying to paint them.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's 11 p.m, so I shouldn't start going off about this. But there's a lot of like physical traits that haven't permeated so much into popular visual depictions of vampires because it's not they're a bit contradictory to what they're meant to symbolize and embody. Like if you're looking at like Dracula, like there's a lot of things like Jonathan Harker really fixates on how hairy his hands are, which is meant to be there's something unnaturally bordering that line into a beast. But that's because in earlier iterations of Dracula was half wolf. But I would draw attention to that for any reason.
Mm-hmm. Ugh, freaking moth. Get out of my face.
Things. Fucking hate those things.
I'm at the same dilemma as I was with the claws and the table. Of like, it's awkward to draw these because they're meant to be interacting with the scarf, and the scarf isn't fully realised yet either.
Yeah, so it's in a Nexus space, so maybe they have to vibe for a minute. If it was in the Oak channel, I saw it. Anything that's posted on Discord, I do see, even if I don't react to it. Oh. Tends to I don't know. I'm glad you all like this dumb game that I make for you guys.
Very much.
It would kind of defy the point if you didn't. Put more Edmund's person. If I put Edmund's person, I'm going to be tempted to talk about Edmund, and I can't because you guys know so little about him. I know that on a conscious level, Daz. know there's plenty of evidence that you guys like this game, but what if? What if secretly you hate it this whole time?
Hey, girls, open up Twitch, and just go to my Twitch stream.
I assure you that I'm staring directly at it.
Gotta be sure. Can I get nails, dude?
Yeah. Actually, do you know what's hilarious about this?
Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah, that's the exact nail polish that I am. Just cash. Shut up. My curse is to always have exactly the thing that you're talking about, whether it's an amulet you've given Glory or Mara Avrina's exact nail polish in the fan art that you've done.
Before the stream started, I jokingly said to Curls, you should get another tattoo, and she just sort of blinked and said, what did you just say? And I was like, I only meant it as a joke, and she was like, no, because I've actually booked to get another tattoo.
Today, I got an email about it just now. The cluster's too fucking strong. Waiting for my Disney Princess Rose to show up in Planet Princess.
Okay.
I can just be like, this?
This is one of those moments where I put my pen down, zoom out, and I go, oh shit.
Yeah. Doing it, bud.
Fuck, I just drew that over the course of like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's happening, bud. Coming together.
Yeah. Because for some bizarre reason, when I opened up the file, I looked at it and I was like, oh, I could do some more on the table, or there's just the persistent need to do Tala's fur, the chair could be doing, and after a while I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to start this. I want to start this today.
Yeah.
For some
She's here.
bizarre reason.
She's here.
This is what my brain wanted me to paint. And yeah, no, she's no longer a blob!
She's no longer a blob!
I mean, her clothes are very blobby, so they're probably going to be tackled next.
It's fine, she changes outfits every 4 sessions anyway.
This is true.
Do you like this gown?
I
This
already
gown.
knew this.
Oh, what?
I already knew this.
Did. Mara, unlike pretty much every character I have, has different outfits.
I think every time Tala's interact with us, she'd have something different on.
Different outfit.
So yeah, it was something that I knew. If anything, she's identifiable by her lack of consistent outfits.
Yeah, she's the only character I have that doesn't have, like, signature outfit. The consistent outfit is the ring of clouds that obscure her eyes and face.
Yes.
That's why you guys didn't work out who it was straight away when I started describing, because I intentionally went from boots up.
Boots up. It's a good way to do it. If the identifiable feature is the face, then.
Knee-high boots, brown breeches, white shirt, silver bow,
Silver bow.
then ring of clouds, cash.
Yeah. I know. Oh yeah, there's one slight detail I forgot to mention. Silver bow, huh? Interesting choice.
I was going to ask about this. This is the thing I was trying to work out how to put a question about, but I didn't know how to do it without drawing attention to it.
What do I think of the fact that she's got a silver bow?
Yes. If you had even remembered. That's why I couldn't work out how to word it, because I didn't know if you guys remembered.
I remembered, not just because of the potential implications in Okart, but you have to remember that I have a character who is a drow whose name translated into common is Silver Bow.
It's true.
That's what Ariash means, Silver Bow. So it glued itself in my mind for those 2 reasons, but yeah, also the implication of the implication of anybody, but especially her, wielding any weapon that is notably silver
It's viscerally upsetting.
Yes. Again, Tala's not even gonna register that.
Oh.
That's one of the reasons why I said I'm fully prepared to just hit the sprint button and run.
I hit play next session. I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
To some extent,
run.
I'm counting on it.
It's gonna be a scrum. You may have to say, everybody say one at a time what you're doing. Because if you just say, "What do you do?" me and Das are gonna scrum into each other as I try to say, "I run," and he tries to say, "I grab Tala." Well, I know he's holding on to her, but try to pull her back. It'll be a scrum. So maybe you should just open with like the pair of you roll against each other to see who goes first.
Trust me, I got plans. It's fine. I'm very prepared for this eventuality.
I'm sure you are.
Right, should we end it there?
I suppose we should, because I'm in that state
You
where I'm
saved.
just staring at it. Yeah. Time to end the stream.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thank you for putting up with us going off about Oakheart for like 2 hours.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Yeah. Bye,
Seriously.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.